Howdy y'all, my name here is Huckleberry but my friends like to call me Huck. I'm just sitting out here on the porch dealing with my tiger lily fronds. You know, they make really nice tooth pickers. And I think I'm going to make me some brooms so I can clean out my tree house later. But as I'm sitting here, I've been thinking about schooling, reading, writing, all that, and as you might know, I really don't care much for schooling, but I do know this lady, Miss Judy, and she is really encouraging me that I can read and that there are stories that are exciting and fun. And so I think after I do my broom here, I'm going to take you up this book, The Adventures Tom Sawyer, and see what she's talking about. Now, she told me that my name might be in here, that I might be one of the characters, so I'm really interested to see what this is going to be like. And you know what else she told me? She told me that maybe I can get good enough with my writing that I could write my own book. So I'm thinking about that. I think I would call it The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. I'll let you know how that goes. But for right now, listen to my friend, my teacher, Miss Judy.
Thanks, Huck, for that introduction. Hi, everybody. My name is Judy Musick. I am one of the instructors at Berea Academy, St. Louis. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our Introduction to Literature and Composition class. Now, this is a complete language arts offering. So if you're signed up for this class, everything that you need in language arts for that year will be covered. We have vocabulary development, we have grammar, we have composition instruction, we have literature reading and literary analysis. It's a whole package deal. The curriculum that we use is something called Lightning Literature and Composition, and this is put together by Hewitt Homeschool Research Foundation. They do research, and specifically they are looking at what are the skills and experiences that homeschool students need to be successful on standardized testing when they get up into high school, the ACT and the SAT, things like that. So it is very good foundation for preparation for high school success. Each piece of curriculum has a student's guide. So this is the textbook that the students will go through. The textbook gives them some introductory information about the piece of literature that they're reading, some questions to consider. It also includes comprehension questions that the students can look at while they read. And then there is a literary lesson at the end. We will be talking a little bit about story. So if you want to learn more about story and plot lines, make sure you take a look at the lesson that is linked in the description to this video. And then each unit has a composition exercise, a writing exercise. Now, what's unique about our program is we do provide one-on-one tutoring for writing instruction. So each time your student writes a paper, they will have an opportunity to meet with me, their teacher, and we will discuss what are the individual strengths and weaknesses of their paper, what are any grammatical errors that they are consistently making and how to fix those. And we will work on the student's individual writing style, and we will work on that paper until it is a great paper. So we don't just stop when the paper is done, but we continue to work with it to enhance the student's writing ability. Along with this student guide, the students also have a workbook. Now, this workbook is the only part of the curriculum that is consumable, and the workbook will give them practical application practice for the different skills and activities that they are learning in class. Some of these will be grammar-based, some of these will be based on literary analysis, some of these will be the construction of a paragraph or the construction of a research paper. And this is a nice, useful tool to have some written record of what the students are learning and achieving in the classroom. And then, because we do meet for classes one day a week, we have students purchase the teacher's guide here. This teacher's guide provides all of the answers to the comprehension questions. It provides additional resources and ideas for study, and it is a nice supplement to make sure that when the students are working on their work the other 4 days that we are not in class, they have some tools and assistance and help available. So parents can have this as a resource they can draw on. Now, literature and composition doesn't mean anything if we don't look at literature, right? So we are going to be starting off the year just like Huckleberry Finn, and we are going to be reading The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, a wonderful piece of classic literature written by Mark Twain, and one that is part of our state of Missouri. It happens in Missouri. The setting is there. After we finish with The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, we are going to be stepping into the world of nonsense, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Students are going to be learning not just nonfiction writing, but they're also going to be learning creative writing, and they're going to be learning different forms of poetry. And so we will be looking at absurdity in writing and chaos in writing and how those sometimes create humor. Also, we are going to be reading a nonfiction book this year, Helen Keller's The Story of My Life. Helen Keller was deaf and blind, and this is her autobiography. So we will use the occasion of this piece of literature to talk about disabilities, overcoming obstacles in life, marginalization, acceptance, accommodations, and all of the issues that relate to having a weakness or a difference from the people that are around you, and how you can be victorious in those circumstances. And then at the end of the year, we are going to be reading James Herriot's All Creatures Great and Small. Wonderful series of vignettes, smaller stories. All are based around the experiences of this man here who was a veterinarian in England. So we will be looking at a totally different setting, England, totally different time period, and we will have a lot of fun looking at how animals and our interactions with animals affect our everyday life. We will also be reading a series of short stories, and we will have several units on poetry, and all of the reading for the short stories or the poems will come from this volume here, Stories and Poems for Extremely Intelligent Children of All Ages. This is the same text that we will use next year in our Level 1, Level 2 Literature and Composition class. So it is a text that can be used for multiple years in a row. It's very comprehensive. It's a nice volume to have on hand. And then I have one more item to show you. This is not curriculum that you purchase. This is curriculum that the students create. So we had stories and poems for extremely intelligent children of all ages. And here I have stories and poems by extremely intelligent children of all ages, namely the students of the class. So every year, these beginning writers are having an opportunity to become published. So we will create some sort of a volume similar to this, where the students are writing short stories, and we have those there. The students are writing poetry, and we have the poetry back here. And so students will realize that their writing is for a broader audience than just the teacher or just mom or dad, and they will have the opportunity to read and interact with one another's writing assignments. It's a great class. It is really fun. Middle school is the time that students really start to develop their understanding of the power of language and the voice that they have. And if we can keep them in a mindset that says learning is fun, and we can follow that delight-directed model, and that writing gives them the opportunity to share a message that they have inside of them with other people, we can build wonderful foundations for their academic success in high school, their academic success in college, but most importantly, for their life success as they launch into adulthood. If you would like more information about this class, please go to our website at bereaacademystl.org. And if you are interested in seeing what one of these literary lessons might look like, make sure you click to the link in the description below.